What's going on, Laker fans? Welcome to Lakerland. I am Christian, Mr. All the Above ENT, here to, of course, talk the Los Angeles Lakers. This is my first video of 2023 for the Los Angeles Lakers, to my knowledge. The 2022 year, as far as the Lakers goes, find a hole, preferably 6 feet deep. Throw some dirt on it, bury it. I never want to bring up Lakers in 2022 ever again. It was a disgusting, disgusting year. I had some horrible experiences, and I'm hoping, and so far, you know what, so good. I'm hoping that this year will bring me some new, better experience as a Laker fan, and I'm here to kind of just talk about it. Lakers have been on a little bit of a roll so far this year. It feels like we ended the year strong. For what it's worth, we got to win. And then we're starting the year off right. We were on just a pretty credible winning streak until that Nuggets game, which I'm not entirely mad about. I mean, Jokic is absolutely just generational. He's a superstar in his own right. Almost close to perfect if he wasn't perfect. And he just killed us in all facets of the game. But that's him. And especially with no AD, kind of expected that. We didn't have Bron. Whatever, that game was a wash. I hate to throw a game away like we did, but that was definitely a throwaway game for the Los Angeles Lakers. Shout out to Max Christie, who did get the starting nod. We might have some words about him in just a bit, but I just really want to talk about what is going on currently within this Laker land, within the Laker world. So let's begin. I first want to just start off with saying LeBron James is absolutely great, and I feel like I did throw him a little bit of doubt in the beginning of the season just because, the man turned 38 years old. And I maybe was a little bit hesitant to think of him as still, albeit dominant LeBron James. But what can I say? He's still as dominant as ever. And at this point, he shows why he's still so great. And he's just still explosive. He's still so athletic. And he's just so experienced. Like, he's just 20 years in. Nobody has ever looked this good. And he's going to not only break that scoring record, he's going to absolutely crush it and conquer that. But LeBron James is still great. PSA. I don't know if I needed to tell you that, but he's turned 38 years old, and he's, averaging 38 points. Like, he's on another level still somehow, some way. And shout out to LeBron James. What I really want to talk about more so than anything else is the surrounding talent around LeBron James. And I can't really mention Anthony Davis because he is on a road to recovery. He's ramping up as we speak. I hope you are hitting all types of, progress. And I hope that you are back sooner than later. I'm hoping it's in 2 weeks. I have you on my fantasy team. I need you. But besides that point, Anthony Davis is ramping up. We're hoping that, honestly, when he went down to begin with, I don't even know if I was able to discuss that. I don't know if that was a video. But when he went down to begin with, I wasn't that optimistic. I was like, all right, well, season's over. There's no way we can do it. But in the absence of Anthony Davis, players have stepped up. And not only players have stepped up, I got to give some credit to Darvin Ham. Granted, I'm giving him credit for, in my opinion, just doing the right thing, which was always the logical move, but he's been playing wings, and thank you. Those damn 3, 4, at 1.5 guard lineups was literally crushing my soul, and I hope we leave that in 2022, and I hope we never see that again. We've been playing wings as of late, and when I say wings, I mean Juan Toscano Anderson, because he's literally the only one we have. Yeah, we're dealing with a crap ton of injuries right now. Troy Brown is out. Lonnie Walker, who's not a wing, is out. Austin Reeves, who's not a wing, is out. And then obviously Anthony Davis. So what is that, 4 players at least? And then, LeBron James, he needs a day off sometimes, guys. Please, he's carrying a lot of burden for this team right now. But Darvin is getting some functionality out of some lineups and an emergence. I want to start off by the emergence of Thomas Bryant, who has been absolutely huge and absolutely incredible. One, I never wanted to let go of Thomas Bryant to begin with when we lost him, But I'm glad, he got to venture off to make some mistakes, to learn, and to, maybe have more of a load offensively or just in general as a player away from the Lakers that he probably wouldn't have got with us. And now he's back to use some of that acquired skill. And he's been absolutely incredible and literally, I'm not going to say replicating Anthony Davis' productivity, but there was games where he had, I believe it was a 27-14 line. If you were to erase that name and put Anthony Davis and said 27-14, I'll be like, well, Anthony Davis had a good game. But no, it was Thomas Bryant. And the fact that we're able to get that from a minimum player, mind you, is absolutely huge. Thomas Bryant, you have been a delight to watch this year. And it's going to be unfortunate to see you most likely walk away from this team in the offseason because that's what's going to happen. I mean, I definitely foresee it. But he's been absolutely incredible, sensational. Not only a spark plug, not only an energy guy, but efficiency. From not only inside the paint, he's able to stretch the floor. It may not be, to the level of a real, Jokic, mind you, but he's able to stretch the floor a little bit, hit a three, hit some mid-range, hit some free throw jumpers, and he's been absolutely crushing it. His speed, his athleticism, his skill, and just that boost of energy he brings into the game. Nothing but glowing words for Thomas Bryant, as I have been nothing but thrilled with his performance. And there is a conversation to be had if when Anthony Davis comes back, should we play them together? I don't necessarily mind it. I guess it ultimately depends on if we ever do a trade, which I'll talk about in a bit. It's going to be a real question. It is going to be a real question, and I think having him come off the bench, especially with like the spark plug of Russell Westbrook, they do play pretty well together. In general, I think he's going to get a lot more minutes than what he did when Anthony Davis was playing, because I feel like Thomas Bryant wasn't really used at all. When I say at all, I mean not to any point of difference making when Anthony Davis was active and he was playing. We were starting to get in the trend to adjust a little bit, and then Anthony Davis got hurt. So we don't really know what it looks like with AD and Bryant to be real like centers. And not only that, we don't know what they look like together. I think we saw a few minutes of it in a few games, but besides that, what type of dimension and what type of dynamic will they have when playing together? Because we then go from a really, really small team to a really, really big team in just that one adjustment, and then we can slot people down. LeBron James can play the 3 and not the 4, and then our guards can actually play their right positions. Austin Reeves can actually play as a guard position. So it's going to be interesting to see when that happens. If that happens, I'm hopefully looking forward to it. But Thomas Bryant, shout out to you. Nothing but glowing words. Let's talk about some of the other talent we got. Beverly, he's not absolute garbage, which is definitely helpful because in the beginning part of the season, I'll say whatever we had, a quarter, third of the season, whatever you want to wrap it up as, he was absolutely awful. And having a starter that doesn't score a point, 2 points, 4 points, I mean, he barely has cracked double digits. I mean, that still hasn't changed much, but it's just a complete hindrance on the team. You have somebody out there that is literally giving you, I'm not going to say giving you nothing, because sure, he gives you something defensively, but it's not like him at the wing position is a lockdown defender. It isn't. He is better when he's guarding a two-man, a one occasionally, but playing him at the wing is a complete misuse of skills, especially giving him 30-some minutes a game. Playing Patrick Beverley 30 minutes a game should not be a thing. It never was a thing in his career, should never be a thing to begin with. So shout out to Patrick Beverley for not being entirely ass. He's been hitting some threes. He's been, now that he's slotted down just a bit with the emergence of Juan Toscano-Anderson and Wenyen Gabriel, he's been able to guard a more correct position for him, in which he's been doing a pretty good job at, for the most part. But yeah, I guess shout out to Patrick Beverley. Also, Kendrick Nunn, who I talked a lot of crap on. He's had a few good performances. He strung together a good set of games, including a game that he had a 20-plus point performance, which we're going to need that for him when we have so many men out. Like, I'm not going to say he wasn't given the opportunity to begin with, because at one point he was penciled in to possibly be a starter for the year. And I would have to go back in my memory bank. I think he might have even started a few preseason games. So he was definitely given opportunity, but due to his performance, he's lost out on opportunities. And next man up mentality, when your number is called, be ready and be prepared to hopefully do your job. And he has been a bit of a spark plug off the bench. He's able to at least get his three-point shot to come around just a bit. He's been attacking. It seemed like he was allergic to a bucket earlier in the year, and I guess allergy season is over. So shout out to Kendrick Nunn. I'm hoping you continue to at least do what you're doing now. I don't know if that's too high of a bar or too high of an expectation for you, but when we signed you, I had a pretty good expectation. Well, at least get 12, 13, 14, 15-point scorer that you were in the Miami Heat days. And you're not far removed from that. And Miami Heat isn't a scrub team. They're not, it wasn't like you were fending for yourself during garbage time. You were a valid talent on at one point contender team. So if we can get anything in the shade of what we've been getting from Kendrick Nunn to continue at a consistent basis, granted, when we do have some, Austin Reeves, Walker, some players come back, Kendrick Nunn should probably fall out of the rotation once again. But regardless, I do got to give flowers where they do. He stepped up when it matters. Keep the same energy. I'm trying to keep the same energy, Kendrick. Thank you. You've been at least a little bit of a bright side over the course of the last few games. We could talk about Wenyen Gabriel, who has, and again, you see the names I'm bringing up. It's not like I'm naming any world beaters. I'm not naming any superstar players by any means. But at the end of the day, these are the players we have on our team, and these are the players that have been stepping up. Wenyen Gabriel has been absolutely superb in his role, which is a 12, 15, maybe at most a 20-minute a game type of player. But when you're there, you need to give us your all. He's given us some great energy. He's given us some great possessions. And in general, some flexibility, because we need that. We definitely need that, especially because he's pretty much a backup center right now. And his capability he's doing that okay. He really is. I didn't expect him when we signed him to be a backup center. But so far, so good for the most part. I mean, Wenyen Gabriel has far exceeded the expectation I had placed on him. He was originally, I believe, a 10-day contract. And in my mind, he never left that stigmatism of being just a 10-day guy. For me, I thought he was always a 15-man at best. And he's proving to be a little more than that. So a shout out to you for not only proving me wrong, but rightfully earning rotation minutes on a squad that needs some of what you bring. So shout out to Wenyen Gabriel. If we're also going down the list, Dennis Schroeder, I have seen some good Dennis basketball and I have seen some bad Dennis basketball. But over the course of Anthony Davis being gone and us needing another player to step up, Dennis Schroeder has been, I'm not going to say a reliable scoring punch, but a reliable enough scoring punch. He has won us some games. That game against the Kings, we won majorly because of Dennis Schroeder. There's been other few games where he has definitely helped us out incredibly. And again, to get that from a minimum player, our last signed player, to my knowledge, besides like Sterling Brown, who another 6'5" guard who's probably playing a position he shouldn't be playing. But 10-day contract, I get it. But Dennis Schroeder has been a good scoring punch for us. His threes have been hitting, as of late, a little more efficiently than what they probably should be hitting for, but I'm not going to complain at it. He has been able to, in the clutch, and he's been part of that final rotation, usually we end games with. He's been part of the team, part of the rotation that brings it home, and he's been playing a role within that, whether it's just him attacking or him being responsible off of the dribble, him hitting a spot-up three every now and then that comes at pretty much every time a timely manner. Even though we've had moments where he whiffs everything. I'm not going to mention that one. But yeah, Dennis Schroeder, for what it's worth, has been absolutely stepping up. And again, guys, we're getting this productivity from minimum talent. We have literally been watching LeBron James ball out with a bunch of vet minimums, and we've been playing good. And that is not only credit to the players, that is credit to Darvin. He has these people competing. He has these players working their tail on offense and defense. So shout out to Darvin Ham. We've been able to just play with an absolutely absurd pace as of late. And because of that, there has been a slippage in defense. And it's like, I mean, you can't expect it all. And I'm not expecting it all. But I have been pretty thrilled with the basketball I have been seeing for what it's worth with the roster we are putting out there. To hash on a few more players, I'm just making sure I go down everybody on the roster. I mentioned Juan Toscano-Anderson, just the fact that we have somebody who can play the three and who has done a lot better. He's made some nice plays, some nice passes, some nice just basketball decisions, which is pretty important just because he isn't an extraordinary talent by any means, but the fact that we have a wing position that can play responsibly, that's what we've been needing. That's kind of been part of the missing piece. We have credible guards. I guess I could say credible guards. And then we have a really good front court when healthy. The problem is the man in the middle, and we've been short for a majority of the season, and he adds a little more height to a short team. So shout out to Juan Toscano-Anderson. I hope you continue to find some momentum as it goes and just continue to make the right decisions. Before I talk about Russell Westbrook, I want to make sure I touch on everybody, including Max Christie, who got a starting nod for the first time in his career. And listen, early in the year, I was not expecting a single minute from Max Christie. I was hoping in a perfect world he can develop his heart out in South Bay Lakers, and maybe on a few injury days, on a few rest days, he can get some playing time. Wasn't expecting him being in closing lineups. Wasn't expecting him in starting any games, but he's had situations where that has happened, and he has outperformed in my expectation of what I had for him this season. One, after seeing preseason and summer league, I was a little bit hesitant about his jump shot. Not necessarily his ability to shoot the ball, but his ability to shoot the ball consistently. Like, he showed me in summer league that he looks like he got the form, but he just doesn't have the ability to make it. But he's been consistently hitting jump shots, and I've been surprised. And he has some sneaky athleticism. He has some good defensive attributes. He, in general, has a good body frame, and I'm excited for the potential of Max Christie. And again, for somebody I had no expectations of, he's exceeded those expectations, as well as a lot of this roster. So shout out to Max Christie. I'm pretty sure you weren't really expecting much this season as far as on the main roster, but you're here now. So continue to develop, continue to do what you're doing. Everything I've seen out of you for the most part has been great. You're making great basketball decisions. You're hitting the shots that I shouldn't say should be hitting, because like I said, the bar was on the floor, but you are hitting the shots that, in your role that you're currently playing, need to be hit. So shout out to you. Continue to just be a shining star and a one positive spotlight on this season, and I'm interested to see how the development continues for that man. Did I touch on everybody? Damian Jones doesn't play, so I don't got to talk about him. Cole Swider has hit a few threes. Shout out to Cole Swider. I'm a fan. All right, I guess we touch on it. Let's talk about Russell Westbrook, who I am not going to crap on Russell Westbrook. He has been, for the most part, a part of why we have been succeeding while Anthony Davis has been gone. I mean, my thing with Russ, to just get into it, I just don't want to see him score. I really don't want to see him be... I don't want to see him shooting. I don't want to see him with that mid-range shot. Half the time, he sometimes folds a lot of layups. I strictly want to see him as a cutter. I want to see him attacking. I want to see him as a dish man. I want to see him passing, setting up teammates. I like that part of Russell Westbrook a lot. I like the Russell Westbrook that comes off the bench and gets everybody involved immediately. I personally absolutely hate the Russell Westbrook that thinks he is any type of 1A player. And you know what? We did see it during the Nuggets game, and for anybody to say that was a good Westbrook game will absolutely be lying to yourself. He had 7 turnovers and just, besides garbage minutes basket, absolutely awful offensively. Just absolutely awful. And when he's getting people involved, that is what I'm here for. As a playmaker, awesome, perfect, great. I like Westbrook in the Rondo role. I have said that, maybe not necessarily on camera, but I have made that a statement for quite some time, where I think Westbrook's best success is playing like Rondo used to, where you're not really looking to score yourself. You're looking for other teammates. You're looking to just make the right play. And also, when the opportunity does come for you to score, for you to get a nice layup, for you to get an occasional 3 in the corner, please, it works. But I don't like the Westbrook that is shooting inefficiently. I don't like the Westbrook that is turning it over a bunch. I need the Westbrook that makes the right decisions. I need the Westbrook that gets all of his other teammates involved. And he has done that part pretty well. I mean, man has had games with multiple 10-plus assists, a 15-assist game at one point. I love that for him. And truth be told, if we were to ever trade him, we would miss that on this team. What we wouldn't miss is his inefficiency in scoring and inefficiency in shot selection and the Westbrookisms that I can definitely live without. But I'm not going to stay too long on Westbrook. Where I really want to go from here is with all of our players performing, for the most part, far above their expectation. I'm not going to say Westbrook has performed out far beyond his expectation. He is, to my knowledge, the second highest paid player in the league. Second highest paid player in the league. I want to repeat that one more time. But this is our roster. This is what we have. We're obviously injury riddled right now. But when those people come back, when Walker comes back, when Reeves comes back, when Troy Brown comes back, we might have a little bit of too much going on. Like, what does that do for, I'm not going to say Patrick Beverley, but, does Patrick Beverley continue to play the 3 again? Is that what's going to happen? I don't want to see that. I really don't. I'm over that. I feel like we should learn from our mistakes and move on from it, because we have seen what works. And what works is when we're playing people in the position that they belong to be in, and we're playing hard, we're playing with just playing the right basketball. And that's what Darvin Ham has done a pretty damn good job at doing so far.
We know in this room what we can be. And we just got to keep stacking, keep building, keep doing things the right way. Being together, being competitive, being aggressive. Let's keep this going.
Let's get greedy.
Let's get real greedy, man. Let's get real greedy.
Let's get greedy, man.
We got on 3.
Man.
Keep having fun, bro.
Yes, sir.
You happy for the next man? Keep having fun, bro.
Yes,
Win, lose, or draw, have fun. Just keep having fun, bro. Go, man.
Having fun, win or lose. Never. I don't want to have fun, win or lose. I want to have fun winning. Regardless. We do need a little bit more construction around the roster, and as the season continues, it shows that we might not need a whole lot in all reality, if we're healthy at least. The optimism that we're going to be healthy with Anthony Davis and LeBron James, it is being optimistic. But this only works if that's the case. And if that is the case, we need a little bit of move around the margins to clean up on. And this is not going to be the hypothetical trade episode, but we are coming close to that trade deadline. And we're slowly creeping up on it. And what are we going to do when we get there? We have been very, very hesitant to make moves, reason X, Y, and Z. But it is a fact. It is to me, a full-on, not an opinion, a full-on fact that we have to do something. I don't know what that something is going to be. I think at this point, the most opportunistic position is for a wing. Now, with Beverly playing better, with Nunn playing better, with, in general, the whole roster playing better, with Westbrook playing better, who is it that we trade? I still probably lean Nunn, Bev. I think at this point, we probably just eat Westbrook, and that's fine because, like I said, if we trade him, we are going to have to trade for something that we need, and I don't think we'll get that back in a trade. But with that being said, we have a levy of guards, as you see, because Walker and Reeves are gone, and it's like the guard rotation is still pretty packed. We have a lot of guards, and we have to move those guards. Now, what team wants Beverly and Nunn? I don't know. And I'm not going to, I'm not going to do any hypothetical stuff here. I would love a world where the Raptors become a seller and they have a lot of wings, whether it's Gary Trent, whether it's OG Anunoby, whether it's any one of the, I don't know, somebody. Bojan's out there. See, my thing is, we have to do something, and the thing is, guys, with the roster we have currently, we have a bunch of players that already have outplayed their contract. So if the year was to end, when the year does end, regardless, win or lose, we're having fun, regardless, win or lose, we only have Bron, AD, and most likely Damian Jones on the books for next year. And, Max Christie. We have to build. My thing is, what are we going to do? Are we just going to, build all this talent and build everybody's contract at a higher value than what they're at, and then just lose them all and then start from the ground up again, and we're just going to see a rinse, wash, repeat? We only have, we do have cap space next year. A lot of that cap space will probably be used to sign the talent that works. Austin Reeves, I anticipate him coming back. I hope. Chalk, 33 mil. He probably gets a third of that. Austin Reeves. Do we sign back Westbrook? I imagine after the years I don't know. That's a big question. Ultimately, I don't know. Lonnie Walker. Do we want him back? If so, another third. Thomas Bryant. Do we want him back? If so, another third. So now we come back with the same roster and the option to now spread out the vet minimums appropriately. So in my humble and honest opinion, there's no reason not to make a trade. Absolutely no reason. I don't see a pool of free agency talent that is, blowing my mind away. Kyrie Irving is probably the best talent, but now the Brooklyn Nets look like a really, really good team. All of a sudden. And do we want to go through that? I don't know. I don't know. And then if we do that, guess what? That 33 mil, well, just give it all to him. And now what are we stuck with? A bunch of vet minimum talent and a similar boat than what we are in now. So in my humble and honest opinion, take on the long-term salary if you have to. What is it really going to affect? And the whole idea of us not having picks, we know that's not true. Lakers have a pick this year. Believe it or not, we can't trade it, but we have a pick this year. We may be able to trade it a little later in the when it comes to draft time. But we have a pick this year. At least get rid of one pick, please. At least make one effort. At least try to make one base hit to maybe bring a runner home. Just one base hit. Trade one pick. I don't give a damn. Unprotected, have it go. I don't give a damn. I really don't. Get rid of it. I don't care. I do not care. Do not care. We have picks. I do not care. Let's get rid of a pick. If that means we can get a wing. If that means we can get a decent wing that can play defense, that can shoot, let's do it. Because now we're talking about a competent roster that has been playing far outside of their contracts this whole season. Optimistically, Anthony Davis, a LeBron James that have proven to not only still be dominant, but still be great together on the court. I mean, LeBron James and Anthony Davis has won a championship together, and if their talent hasn't dropped off, Anthony Davis's talent when he's on the court has not dropped off. This was early in the year was the best Anthony Davis I've ever seen. I've seen Bubble AD. I was not seeing the dominance in the paint, the Shaq-like dominance from Anthony Davis in the bubble. He was doing great. His jump shot was working, but he was showing me a different level of dominance offensively and defensively, being the center of attention on the defense. LeBron James has not lost a step. He's just gotten smarter. Somehow, the smartest basketball player of all time has gotten smarter. And he's learned and accrued a bunch of different moves along the way. The little under the basket fadeaway jump shot, new in his arsenal. His jump shot is still there, and he still has the ability at will to drive on any team. So what are we doing? You know what I mean? At this point, just make the move, even if it's a slight base hit. Make the move that makes you marginally better. And don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of taking on salary cap. Don't be afraid of losing a pick. We have a chance. I mean, we do. Look at the standings. I'll put it on the screen. We're in a hunt. And if you think I'm really scared of any team when we have LeBron James and Anthony Davis, I'm not that scared. Nuggets was a first seed. I don't know where they're at right now. Nuggets were the first seed at one point. We have history of beating them. I'm not scared of the Pelicans. I'm not... The Grizzlies, they've had their woes this year. I'm not scared of the Grizzlies. We've beaten the Bucks on the Eastern Conference. I'm not scared of 76ers. I don't think I'm scared of the Celtics. Fuck that. I'm not scared of the Celtics. I'm not scared of none of these teams. And the fifth seed, currently as we speak, I believe is the Kings. We can get there. The records show we can get there. We just got to win and treat this like a marathon and not a sprint. Everybody at the beginning of the season was sprinting. And we got a perception, and I was one of them, that a perception that maybe this can maintain and Lakers are just going to fall out. No, every team right now in the Western Conference, for the most part, is battling 500, including us. So let's just get a little better. Let's just get healthy. Let's just continue to play hard. And let's bring some wins home. Make a marginal move that can, again, just make you a little better. Whether it's Bojan, I don't fucking know, man. I really don't. Rob, it's your job to make some calls. It's your job to think of some offers. But we're not going to get any trade done without a pick. Get that out of your head. We can trade a pick. We can afford it. You're not even... If we lose another season, you're not even going to be the damn general manager when these picks come into effect. I'm not even going to care. I'm not going to care. I don't know. If they're looking for young talent, I guess that's where it comes into question. Are you willing to give Austin Reeves? Probably not. But also, are we also willing to pay him? Because we weren't for Caruso. At one point we weren't willing to trade THT and that backfired in our face. Are we willing to trade Lonnie Walker? Honestly, maybe. We're probably not going to afford to pay him after this offseason. It's just you start really just looking yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, what are you doing and what are we really trying to accomplish? Because LeBron isn't here to waste his years. So I'm not here to waste my time either. I have watched every single Laker game through the torture, through the pleasure. I just want to watch good basketball, and I've been able to watch that with vet minimum talent. If we could just get a few pieces that can marginally make us better and get healthy and make us deeper and make us stronger, well, that changes the conversation entirely. So the pressure will continue to be on Rob Pelinka to hopefully make a move. That has not changed. The pressure will continue to be placed on the front office we're going to have to make a risk. And you know what? If you didn't want to do that, maybe you shouldn't have put yourself in certain predicaments to begin with. Cough, cough, Russell. But we have to not waste LeBron James and Anthony Davis. I hope we don't. I hope we can do anything that can make this team better. Again, I can play fantasy in my head. I can do 2K trades on my PS5 all day, but Rob has to make some calls. Honestly, if I'm Rob, and if you want a home run, I'm offering a home run package. One apiece. All right, boom. Here's 2 picks. Here's this guy. That's what we got. That's our best offer we can do. You don't want to do it? Cool. I'm just exploring all my options. And I think right now a home run might just be a base hit. It might. And now If I'm lying, I'm flying. We'll figure that out. But guys, what do you think the Lakers should do right now? Let's check out this upcoming stretch of games before we get out of here. We do have, I mean, credible opponents. At this point, everybody's beatable. Everybody is beatable. Mavs, beatable, even though they smoked us. They're crazy, insane third quarter. Sixers, I was there for that. I'm not going to speak anymore. The Rockets should be a dub. We got to win the games we have to win. The Kings, proven to beat them, and that'll be big. You know, a little swap in the standings. Trailblazers, they're struggling right now. Clippers, struggling right now. Spurs, come on, man. Celtics, man, fuck the Celtics. Let's get out of here, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, please like, comment, share, subscribe, and listen, let me know what your thoughts are currently within the Laker world, within Lakerland. Where are you currently at? Because right now, I'm more optimistic than what I have been in maybe a few incarnations of this series, at least the last few episodes. But there's still work that needs to be done. And at the end of the day, we've been able to hold off our end of the bargain while Anthony Davis has been gone. But as we hopefully start to get healthy, we need to keep our foot on the gas. And we cannot slow down. And Darvin in the beginning of the year was saying that it will be a marathon of a season, and we're looking for the incremental successes to get better as the year goes on. So that's what I'm looking forward to. And I'm hoping when I come back, when I make the next episode, the Lakers are above 500. I really do. I hope at least, you know, we're teetering. We're teetering right now. The day Lakers get above 500, I am going to, I don't even know. I'm going to run around my community butt naked with a Lakers flag spread in. Never mind. I'm not even going to get there. Guys, thank you so much for watching as always. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time on Lakerland. And if I don't see you, well, have a good day, good evening, and good night.
Yeah, I got the game all in my hand, ooh, and yeah, pop out with the drip and make a fan drool. You could risk it if you want, this ain't no fan duel. Yeah, I'm in a Benz cool, yeah, stepping for the breeze.